we'll wrap this up, Rick, with this tape. On the bulletin board, what are some of the questions people asked you? Because you went out there and said, hey, what are some of the things you'd like me to cover?
Right.
Maybe we've covered them all already.
I think we should talk a little bit more, Tom, about how the mechanics of how I actually do it on a day-to-day basis. So once I capture the ticker symbols and I put them in the portfolio management system, I just basically monitor them as far as my daily activity. Mm-hmm. I think one of the most useful tools on the mutual fund tab is the asset class indicator page, where you go there and all the colors you see. Mm-hmm. Steve has summarized all the major indicators for asset classes on one page, where when you see the momentum declining, or you see relative strength going into a column of O's, or you see the trading bullish percents back off from high levels, that's a management decision you have to make as far as what to do with that particular mutual fund menu. Mm-hmm. So I would say to the guys that want to get in the habit of learning how to use the mutual fund database a little better, go to that mutual fund tab and just look around a little bit and look at how the trading bullish percent is different from the long-term bullish percent. Know your RSX, RSP, momentum, and that type of thing.
RSX means the percentage of stocks underlying it or percentage of funds underlying it that are in X's on the relative strength chart. RSP would be which percentage have positive relative strength.
On a bicycle, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's what I use personally. But in front of a client, I don't even get near close to that kind of depth. I'm talking about the S&P correlation. I'm talking about the importance of the MU100 and the MU500. And I'm talking about relative strength. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about March 2000 on the defensive side, late 2000 on the offensive side, not where they came from, but into the small and mid.
So if and
that'll close any account that you get in front of, I guarantee you.
I'm an attorney, and I have an account with you. I said, okay, you're going to advise me.
Right.
Each day you look at my account, is that correct?
Absolutely, yes.
So you look at what's going on with the funds in my plan?
Yes. Asset classes first, funds second.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say a change comes in my fund. I've had it for a couple of years, and the relative strength chart finally turns negative.
Right.
How do you alert me to this?
I would send you an email.
You'd email me.
Right.
And is it the kind of email that you have that when he opens it that you get a thing back that says?
I don't typically do that. I should, but I don't.
I would suggest you should.
From a compliance standpoint, I should do that.
Then you know he opened it.
Yeah, and you know he saw it. Yeah.
That he saw it.
Exactly.
And if he chose not to act on it, then that's his business, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is.
So when you get his statement, then at the end of the quarter, you look at it and you see it's still in there, and you advised him to sell it.
Yep. You've got proof.
What do you do then?
Well, getting back to that question, Tom, of how do I keep this all straight? What I have done a very good job of is network deeply into the same pool of assets. I don't have 15 or 20 different company plans that I'm watching. Mm-hmm. I'm watching probably 7 or 8, maybe 10. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got now multiple clients in each of these pools.
Right.
So if I send out an email, it's probably going to 20 people with the same information. Mm-hmm. Whether I know that they own that fund or not, I want them to know that if there's a relative strength change or asset class change, I'm on top of it. You're knowing it as soon as I know about it.
Right.
Here's the information. I'll cut and paste a chart or two in the body of the email, and at the end of the email say, I'm going to follow up with a phone call to you, or at least put something on voicemail to you within the next day to know that we should maybe talk. So it's all based on email with a follow-up phone call.
Yeah, because you duplicate me with this firm you have in town, small construction firm, and I really like what I see.
Yes.
And I don't get that many. I mean,
no, it's just
every now and then I might get something.
The other thing I'm doing is Jay got me involved with the same Carbon software that you guys use to do the what's the name of that thing, Justin? They do DWA Today, or the one where it goes through and it's a chart and Jay puts the balloons up. And it's the
it's a it's like
self-education, self-viewing.
The chart comes up, and the balloon comes up and says, "Hey, this chart means
this. Chart means this," and you highlight an area.
Oh yeah,
I do a lot of those on my website for my clients.
I like that.
Here's the fund. This is why we're doing this. That kind of a thing.
Great.
So when the relatives.
So what's that software called again?
It's Carbon.
Carbon.
Carbon.com. Carbon.com. It's called Viewlet Builder. is what it is.
Beautiful.
Jay's used it, and Justin have used it for several years. I've used it for a couple years. So what I essentially do, Tom, is build a mini presentation for my clients. 5-6 slides, maybe takes 2 minutes to go through, with the picture of what's going on and then the text of why we're doing something. And then just put that right on my website.
I like that.
It doesn't have anything that wouldn't be compliance approved, because it's just got text and it's just got a couple of charts in it. And here's why we should be doing something. So that's how I communicate, and the clients love it. I mean, it's 2 minutes on what they should do, exactly what they should do. That's why they're paying me to watch things and to tell them what to do.
So when you have a change in what they should do in their 401k, you give them that little carbon?
The little carbon thing, yep.
That's cool. So
yeah, it's like a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, you email them a PowerPoint presentation that says, here's what's changed, here's why we're doing what we're doing.
Here's what we're doing, what we're doing. Yep. Now, and the process started last week for me to convert to Microsoft Office 2003 to have all my data, all my email all on one system, where I can now have records of all this stuff. Because right now I'm using like 4 or 5 different programs to keep all these balls in the air. The portfolio management, the communication, the record keeping, all that. Microsoft Office 2003 is going to keep it in one program.
Beautiful.
Well, I'll have copies of this for compliance purposes and all that type of thing. It's all communication. It's all email. Now, with the WG Wrap guys, companies that don't have employees that have access to email, I have every home address, email address that they want to give me in a special folder. I copy the contact guys at WJ Wrap and the main ones, and then copy them at home.
Yeah. So what I know they do is they take what you have and they put it up on a bulletin board.
Exactly.
So you copy them at home, you let the powers to be at the firm know, and then they put up on the bulletin board, say, hey, here's some changes.
Here's what changes. Here's what's going on.
So I mean, everyone wants to take advantage if it can.
We've had a couple times where at 5 minutes after 5, when they get off, we have a conference call. They come in, they lock their trucks up, come in, have a pop up before they go home, and we have a 10-minute conference call.
That's great.
On the speakerphone. Here, fellas. Here's what we're doing. Here's what I'm thinking.
And it goes to show you that even small construction companies and pavement companies and how many of those are out there that need this?
One of the reasons, Tom, why I wanted to keep my Series 7 active is that there's been some talk on this ERISA change that's coming up. The House's version wants to allow brokers of record to offer the advice. So if I'm a broker of record at XYZ brokerage firm, and I'm broker of record on a $2-3 million 401k plan, maybe got 30 clients in it, I can give the individual advice even though I'm compensated as broker of record. House wants to let that happen, Senate doesn't. That's been the major sticking point.
Well, they shouldn't have happened.
Well,
I mean, in that if you're going to be broker of record, you should be bringing some value to the table.
You should be.
You know, if you're not bringing value to the table, most of the broker of record open up the account and then they don't see them again
forever.
I mean, if you're going to be broker of record, you should be providing some value.
So my point is, when this goes through, your Dorsey Wright training would be that added value.
Exactly.
To not only keep what you have, but to go out and get other ones that you have.
And I would think that a person, let's say you went to a firm and there was a broker of record there they haven't seen in a year and a half, why don't they change it to your number and your name, and you're the one that's going to provide them the advice. And broker of record, heck, you could say, just look, change the number to me as broker of record.
The custody doesn't have to change.
And I'm going to provide the advice, and you don't even have to charge them anything, but now you're getting paid.
You're getting paid already. You don't have to worry about the advice fee because your 12B1 fees go to your broker-dealer, and that's how you get paid. It's as clean as a whistle if you can do that.
Yeah, a lot of changes beginning to happen in this business, but the one thing that doesn't change is the need for true education and craftsmen.
Yes.
And that's what's going to happen in this business. Eventually, I think, those who choose to not take the craftsman direction, and whatever they happen to use, whether just straight fundamentals or whatever, to be truly good at what they do and to provide the advice, they'll eventually become, I would say, more bank employee type.
Yes, 800 number type people.
Yeah, 800 number, but paid a salary, probably a pretty good salary, and step increases.
Right.
But the real business are going to be those.
It's going to be in the trenches on the front lines.
That's right. The guys on the front lines with the education, and they are going to end up with the lion's share of this business.
As much business as they want to get.
As much as they want to get.
As much as they want to handle.
Exactly.
We should do, if we're running out of time, Justin, we should do one more on this fiduciary liability stuff.
Let's do it.
Because that's a very important thing.